Well, welcome back. You're still watching Morning Live here on SABC2. Now, the use of technology in the workplace has no doubt made a huge difference in terms of assisting workers on their day-to-day duties. But a new study suggests that machine learning algorithms can now produce better basic knowledge work than human workers. Now, jobs are at risk of becoming completely automated. The Sector Education and Training Authority largely focuses on workplace training and has therefore implemented the Workplace Skills Plan and Annual Training Report. Today in studio, we're joined by Dr Nischal S Khandai. He is the COO at New Generation Mindset to tell us more on the skills and training that can be provided for workers in the workplace. Dr Khandai, good morning to you and welcome
good morning.
to Mandela. Thank you very much for coming through. Now, let's first focus on SETAs. What are the SETAs and how effective can they be in terms of providing necessary skills?
The SETA is an acronym for Sector Education Training Authority. And what it is, it's a body, an educational body that regulates, plans, and obviously oversees the training and skills deficiencies in the country. Is it effective? In my opinion, still a lot of work to be done. It's not addressing the unemployment rate in the country, and still a significant amount of training and skills transfer has to occur in areas where there's critical and scarce skill shortages. So in a nutshell, the SETAs, still a lot of work to be done. They do play a pivotal role, but not helping in great deal with skills development in the country.
But are they getting there perhaps?
Definitely. In various areas, there are quite a number of SETAs, over 21 of them in South Africa. And a number of them are very effective and playing a prominent role in terms of skills enhancement, the governing of skills training and transfers. I think the greatest assistance the SETAs have played is in the granting of grants for internships and learnerships, where they've enhanced youth to train in certain areas so as to improve the employability in the country as well.
So there's definitely light at the end of the tunnel.
Definitely.
But then now, on my introduction, I mentioned Workplace Skills Plan and Annual Training.
Yes.
What exactly is that?
Well, in South Africa, governed by the Skills Act, all companies that employ 50 or more employees would need to submit a workplace skills plan. And that's due during the course of April. In fact, submission dates close around the 30th of April. And all these big employees that have a large number of employees above 50 and above will need to comply by setting a plan of action to train their staff, their management, and there's a big focus on training non-white staff, what is categorized as black staff, which is Indian, African, and colored staff. So there's a big emphasis in putting a plan of action together where in the next year, companies would embark on training the staff, ensuring that they're skilled and that there's a knowledge transfer to enhance the employability of people as well as develop the skills as well.
But then who takes an initiative in the company? Is it the employer himself or herself? Because I know with SABC we have what you call PDPs, whereby you say, these are the skills that I think I need in the coming financial year. But who's supposed to take initiative in this regard?
The onus is both on the employer as well as the employee. So the employer is obliged in terms of the workplace skills plan to ensure that they submit a plan. And that plan entails consulting with the employees, making sure the employees are well skilled. But there's just a large onus as well on the employees to make sure that they are also learning and developing themselves as an employee in the organization as well in terms of increasing the skills. So it's an amalgam of both the employer and employee.
Okay, so basically I must go to my employer and say, look, I think these are the skills that I require. But he must have a plan at hand.
Exactly.
To provide the necessary skills.
Typically what an employer would do, like the SABC, they would look at what are the skills needed to take the organization to the next level, what are the gaps. They would then assess the employees to see what is the current skill level and where the gaps are. So the training and the training plan for the next year, 2 or 3 years, is actually to address that gap and fill those gaps so that you have a competent and well-skilled workforce.
Now, how can countries reduce their exposure to automation, I beg your pardon?
I think automation is good. It brings about increased technology, really good for the economy. But if you look at South Africa, we need to get our youth as well as people between the ages of 25 to 35 working. Whether they have the skill or not, they still need to earn an income. Automation, in my view, will assist the economy in some ways, but would reduce significant number of people in other areas, leading to higher retrenchments because we have a low skill base in many sectors. And with higher retrenchments, it goes negative against the economy, leading to higher unemployment and higher levels of unemployability, where the youth, although they want to work, are unable to find work. So automation, good for developing economies, very good for well-developed economies, may have an adverse effect in South Africa in the short run.
Now, let's look at the BEE. How does this whole issue that we're discussing this morning affect the BEE programs that we have here in the country?
The Workplace Skills Plan is actually governed by a separate act called the Skills Development Act. And although it relates and overlaps with BBBEE, which is the Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Act, it's actually separate. The Workplace Skills Plan assists all employees in the workplace, whereas the skills development component within Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment focuses more on the development of black staff. And the Act defined black staff as staff that are in the category of either African, Indian, or colored. So whilst one focuses on all employees in the workplace, which is Workplace Skills Plan, the Black Economic Empowerment Act, in terms of skills development, focuses predominantly on black employees. They do overlap, in that it's both designed to advance and train people in the environment with a strong focus of developing people that were previously disadvantaged in terms of getting their skill level, competency, and abilities at the next level.
So what do they do in this regard? Do they train SMMEs?
The Black Economic Empowerment Act is a guide that prescribes to companies that they should advance employees within the organization, as well as focus on supplier and enterprise development. Now, if you focus on supplier and enterprise development, the large focus is to focus on startup companies and small, medium enterprises. So hence, a spend in favor of SMMEs to advance them to the next level, support them financially, assist with funding, and also to guide and coach them so that they can grow from small enterprises to large enterprises.
So the deadline for companies to submit their training plans and reports is the 30th of April?
It's 30th of April this month. However, the Broad-Based Black Economic Empowerment Act is ongoing, and revisions on it will start from May onwards.
Well, thank you very much. That's Dr. Nischal S Khandai. He is the COO at A New Generation Mindset. We're taking a break. When we come back, Morning Live continues. Stay tuned.